Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
I just got the biggest chills.
I love it.
I love it so much. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Hello to everyone watching. We are so grateful that you can tune in. I am Brandon Wolf. I use he, him pronouns. I am on staff at Equality Florida. I'm your development officer and your media relations manager. And I'm here with the glorious co-host. I can't say enough about you.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. My name is Blue Star. I use a pronoun she, her, and I am so thrilled to be a part of this gala tonight. I mean, I know that we're kind of living in 2020 right now, but it is nice to be able to raise some money virtually because it's a really important year this year.
I know. No pressure. No pressure at all, but a ton of pressure, to be honest. So, okay, before we get too far down the pike, first of all, it is really nice to see you.
It's wonderful to see you too. I've missed you so much. What a wild ride we've been on this year, and I have looked forward to our rehearsals and getting together because we can't really gather still, or we don't choose to gather. If that's kind of what you choose, but it is nice. Are you doing okay? I mean, are you nervous?
I'm nervous. We've got 4 days left to an election. No problem. We're in the middle of a global health crisis. There's a lot going on, but you know what? I'm excited. I think it's going to be fabulous. I think, our community turns out, we show up, and I'm really, really excited to see what we can do. So
I've already voted, and I have to tell you that it was truly one of the most powerful moments I've experienced in voting history ever. I mean, and I think a lot of people are experiencing that right now. I mean, we have to let our voices be heard. And so I'm just going to tell you this. If you haven't voted, vote.
It's time to vote.
It's time to vote.
It's time to vote. Okay, so we have a fabulous program. We've got a ton. Oh, I've got my cheers to that.
Cheers. Thanks to the Hammered Lamb for our drinks today.
Thanks to the Hammered Lamb for our drinks. We've got a ton of things going on, and I wonder if you could share with everyone, how do they watch? How do they share? What do they do? Right.
Yes, so we want you to broadcast us as much as possible. So you can find us on Facebook or on YouTube at Equality Florida. Just find it and share it. That's what you're supposed to do right now. Like, that is your task for the moment. So I'm just going to wait patiently and drink my cocktail while you do so. Again, just find us, Equality Florida, Facebook and YouTube, and share so that everyone can share this experience with us tonight.
Absolutely. I've got an idea on something fun people can share, and I'm hoping my friends behind the scenes can post this into the chat. But one of my favorite parts about being at the gala is always the photo booth. And you know what I'm talking about when it's like, we've had 2 or 3 of these. We're asking Byron to take our picture with 14 different combinations and all of that. Yeah. That's the part that I'm missing tonight, is that in-person vibe.
Yeah.
And I was really sad about not having our magical, cute photos taken. But you know what happened? The most amazing thing happened. Our friends at PNC and Byron created a virtual photo booth.
That's amazing. Okay, tell me how to do that.
All right, I'm going to tell you how to do it.
Okay.
You snap a quick selfie.
Okay.
You know how to do that. I've seen your Facebook. It's looking fabulous. She snaps her selfie.
Okay.
Okay, and then all you have to do is send it to 440 467 3539.
3539.
That's right. 440-467-3539. You send that selfie off, and it comes back glamorized.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh my
God. I'm excited.
We're checking in with you soon to figure out what that looks like.
Oh yes, I will have it for you. I promise that. And something else that I miss a lot is the silent auction, and that's always a big way for us to raise money. And as you can see right now, we're virtual, so we're going to share that with you on our beautiful screen and tell you about what we have tonight for our amazing, fabulous virtual auction. There are some incredible services on there, like a gift from Rangers Pet Outpost, some remarkable art items, a St. Pete getaway package, which we could all use a getaway right now, and an amazing prize from Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. So if you want to browse these items and submit your bids, just go to eqfl.org/Orlando Gala, and you will notice right here on the screen, right here, it's going to be right there. There it is.
I love it.
We're going to drop it in the link and you can chat about it too. So there it is, silent auction. Check it out. Oh, I think I'm going to bid on that Dr. Phillips. I'm just saying.
I love it. I love it. All right. So not to bring it back to the heavy note, but listen, we're 4 days away from the most consequential election of our lifetime. And I really don't have to tell you what's at stake. We could go on all night, but I think most people watching, certainly if you're on our Facebook page, you understand what's at stake. We're 4 days away also from the culmination of this largest state LGBTQ elections program in history. Just let that sink in. Equality Florida right now, and since June 12th, has been operating the largest state LGBTQ voter mobilization program in history. From June 12th, which marked 4 years since the tragic shooting at Pulse that took so many of our friends, after we launched that program, until this Tuesday, Election Day, we will have invested nearly $1.5 million, sent 1.4 million text messages, and made over 500,000 phone calls to mobilize pro-equality voters in the state.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is.
That's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work. And you know what is giving me a lot of anxiety, but also inspiration right now, is that the work really isn't over. We're not there yet. I don't have to tell you either that everything in Florida comes down to a razor's edge. Everything comes down to it. We know how close the governor's election was, how close the senator's election was last time. We know how close the presidential election was in 2016. And so we also know that it's our community that's going to make the difference. If we show up, we know it's possible to win. And that's where I'm asking for everyone's help tonight. Okay, so I'm going to drop some numbers on you. Breathe, take them in. From the time we launched our elections program until now, so the general election, we're in it, we're early voting. We have turned out over 100,000 pro-equality voters already.
Wow.
And of those, 88,000 did not vote in 2016.
Wait, what?
We've turned out nearly 90,000 voters in our universe, pro-equality voters, who didn't turn out in 2016.
We got to fix that.
That's the power. That's the power that we've already had. But there are still 360,000 voters on the table. There are 360,000 pro-equality voters right now that need us to contact them and make sure that they have a plan to vote. So
you're going to be real busy.
They're going to keep us busy. And I'm going to tell you how everyone watching, and even you, Blue, can help us get there. So thanks to a very generous donor in Sarasota, we're matching $100,000 in gifts raised tonight, which is just incredible. That is a huge number.
That is.
And the truth is, every one of those dollars is going to help us call those 360,000 pro-equality voters. So if you don't know what to do, if you're worried about Florida, if you're having anxiety, the answer is help us reach those voters. And the way to do that right now is to text equality to 74121. You see it on your screen. It's scrolling across the bottom. We can turn these voters out if you give us the resources to do that. If we can raise $25,000 tonight, I will bet that the elections team can call every single one of those voters. So I'm asking you, please, 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 skin in the game. We got to leave it all on the line right now. We need to raise $25,000 tonight. All you have to do is text equality to 74121. I'm going to be checking in on our thermometer throughout the night and sharing how close we are to our goal. So if you're feeling generous, you want that $500 gift to turn into $1,000. You want that $5,000 sponsorship to become $10,000 for this work. Text equality to 74121.
It's really just that easy. And, you know, speaking of that easy, I got my picture back.
Oh my gosh, how fabulous.
I know. So it's the texting, the power of texting is just showing off right now. So make sure, please, please, please text equality to 74121 and make that donation. So, but you know what? Tonight we're here to celebrate the progress we've made in the fight for equality for the LGBTQ community, non-discrimination protections, and minority business recognition. Central Florida is a place where we can love who we love, which is awesome, and be who we are, and know that we are valued. And that's very important. And none of this is made possible without our allies who they're really important to us, especially those allies in elected office. And speaking of which, we have one of those allies ready to share a special message with us. Yay! So let's welcome to our virtual stage, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer.
Good evening. I'm Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. I want to welcome you to Equality Florida's 2020 Greater Orlando Virtual Gala. I'm proud of the City of Orlando's partnership with Equality Florida and all that we've accomplished together, including expanded protections against discrimination for transgender community and LGBTQ plus youth and other needed policy changes. As we face new challenges as a result of the global pandemic and the call for racial justice and systematic change, we must remain committed and participate in our electoral process. Now more than ever, it's important for voters to show up at the polls in record numbers. Remember to make a plan to vote and call your family members and friends to do the same. I'm confident that together we can create the change we need, and I look forward to continuing to work together to ensure progress and equality in the City Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, he is such a gem. And that jacket was so cute.
I know, it's his dress-up jacket. I love it.
Dang, he's showing me out here. Okay.
We can always count on him, and that, and I'd like to thank him for reminding us that anything is possible when we all work together. And that's just something that we have to do, from elected officials all the way down to people like us.
That's right. That's right. And we have to make sure that everyone has a plan to vote. So I'm just going to plug it here one more time. I promise I'll do it all night. We really need your help. So if you text equality to 74121, you can pitch in $25, $50, $500, whatever you can give. We will match it, we will double it, and we'll turn it into phone calls. We're going to call pro-equality voters. And the truth is, if we can get them to show up, we can achieve anything. We know that. We know that.
I keep taking all these heavy sides during this. Like, I'm just so right now, to the ask, to all the things, like everything that is happening right now is just so important. And I said that anything is possible when we work together. And with just 4 days until the election, we need that message more than ever. Nothing really embodies that sense of unity than the Central Florida community did in the aftermath of the tragedy of Pulse. And we really refused to be divided by hate, and instead stood together to take care of one another. Our first award honoree was at the forefront of that work in 2016 and has continued to be a unified force in her role as executive director of the One Orlando Alliance. Now, as she leaves that position, I'm not sad about that. Yeah. And she continues her work to elevate the LGBTQ voices everywhere. We honor her with our Voice of Equality Award. Let's welcome one of this year's Voices for Equality, Jennifer Foster. And following that, we have a little bit of entertainment from Pulse survivor Brian Reagan.
Hi, everybody. I am so happy to be here with you tonight for this Equality Florida virtual gala event. And, I really wish that we were all together in the one space and that we were hugging and laughing and singing and dancing together. But 2020 had other plans for us. So I'm just really grateful that Equality Florida has brought us together in this virtual space so that we can celebrate community, that we can focus on the work that's being done collectively together, and that we can really just kind of ground ourselves in the goodness that is our community. So thank you to Equality Florida, not just for bringing us together tonight, but for the work that you do throughout the year, throughout the state, and especially here in Central Florida, the impact that you make, whether you are a staff member or a volunteer or a donor, and whether you're watching this, if you're watching this, you are a supporter of Equality Florida, and so you are part of that collective impact. And so thank you, thank you, thank you for the work that you do. I also want to thank you certainly for this recognition tonight for the Voice for Equality. I'm very honored to receive this, especially alongside my friend and my state representative, Representative V Escomani, who is a fierce advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. Not only is she an ally, she is an accomplice in this work and just a true champion for equality. She, alongside Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith and so many other allies that we have in Tallahassee, are, just working on behalf of our community in so many ways that are, many times not really seen. And I just am so grateful for the work that she does, and to be able to share this space with her this evening, and see her recognized for that work. In terms of me, when I think about my own personal journey, I think about the hundreds, if not thousands, of folks that I've been able to work alongside over the last 20 years that I've been here in this community. And no more so than the folks that I've really been privileged and honored to work with since the Pulse tragedy on June 12th of 2016. I've had just the extraordinary opportunity to meet so many incredible individuals who have come into their own power, and who have embraced their own authentic self, and who have stood up and become really powerful voices in our community. And particularly in sectors of our community that lack representation prior to the tragedy. What we recognized after Pulse was that our Black community, our Brown communities, our transgender, gender nonconforming, non-binary communities, people of color, our immigrants, our elders, our youth really didn't have representation when it came to, voices that spoke on behalf of our community. And so many individuals have stepped into those spaces in just the last 4.5 years. And those are the voices that really deserve this award tonight. Those are the brave folks who, have really stepped into their own power, that I'm just so grateful to know and to have been able to work alongside over the last 4.5 years. So, I'm extremely grateful for this award, but I share it with so many. And I just honor every single person in our community who uses their own voice, who steps into their own power, and really believes that we all deserve to live in a community where we all, as LGBTQ people, feel like we belong, that we're safe, and that we're included. So thank you to Equality Florida. Thank you to all of you. And, I'm sure you've already voted, but if you haven't, get that vote in.
Who can say for certain? Maybe you're still here. I feel you all around me. Your memory so clear. Deep in the stillness, I can hear you speak. You're still an inspiration. Can it be that you are my forever love, and you are watching over me from up above? Fly me up to where you are beyond the distant star. I wish upon tonight to see you smile, if only for a while, to know your face. A breath away is not far to where you are. Are you gently sleeping here inside my dreams? And is in faith believing all power can be seen? As my heart holds you just one beat away, I cherish all you gave me every day. 'Cause you are my forever love, watching me from up above. And I believe that angels glory and that love will live on and never leave. Fly me up to where you are beyond the distant star. I wish upon tonight to see you smile, if only for a while, to know you're there. A breath away is not far to where you are. I know you're there. A breath away is not far to where you are.
I love him so much.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting like a little emotional. Those are two of my very favorite people in the entire world. I just, I moved away after the shooting at Pulse for a time, and I needed space. I needed to figure out what was next in my life. I needed to figure out how I was going to navigate it without my chosen family. And I missed it so much. And it's because of people like Jennifer and Brian and you and everyone who's watching now. This is my family. This is my home. And I could not be more grateful to live in Orlando and be a part of this.
Oh, we're very happy to have you here. It's going to be fun to watch your journey.
Thank you. So speaking of people who give me hope and inspiration, and I know give everybody hope and inspiration, you talked about what's possible when we work together. I think about what's possible when we work together and then we elect people who are willing to work for us and fight for us.
Yes.
And we have one of those people who just has been an absolute shining beacon for this community, who is not necessarily an LGBTQ person, but is an honorary member of our family because she has been such a relentless champion for the issues that matter so much to all of us, whether that's non-discrimination protections, protecting LGBTQ young people, fighting back against conversion therapy, and then beyond that, right? Making sure that we're treated with dignity and respect. We get the unemployment benefits we deserve. Everything that she does is about fighting for the people of Central Florida, and she never fails to center LGBTQ voices in that. So I am really honored and distinctly privileged to introduce our second 2020 Voice for Equality Award honoree, the one and only local hometown hero, State Representative Anna V Escomani.
Yay.
Hi, this is Anna V Escomani. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm the daughter of working class immigrants from Iran, born and raised right here in Orlando, a proud accomplice to the LGBTQ plus community, and honored to serve as a State House representative for District 47 in the Florida legislature. It's incredibly humbling to be speaking with you all tonight, albeit under not so ordinary circumstances. Of course, COVID-19 has uprooted everything we know as normal. We've lost incredible people, including members of the LGBTQ plus community. This pandemic has caused a great deal of tragedy and harm. Many of us have lost our jobs, struggling to make ends meet, navigating a broken unemployment system, especially here in Central Florida, where we see unemployment rates continue to be incredibly high. And for those who have children, you've had to reinvent the definition of multitasking to get your work done while also ensuring the academic success and well-being of your little ones. Despite these unprecedented obstacles, we still somehow find each other and find hope through our Zoom screens and virtual gatherings, surprise phone calls and check-ins, socially distanced neighborhood walks, and picnics. And tonight, hundreds of us are gathered, coming together to celebrate the work of Equality Florida, while also preparing for what will be one of the most consequential elections in our lifetime. Now, I want to take a moment to thank Equality Florida for this incredible honor. It is humbling and deeply personal for me. As Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith knows, I take my commitment for the LGBTQ plus community and towards inclusivity incredibly seriously. And I don't just call myself an ally, I call myself an accomplice, because for me, I'm in this whether we win or lose. If you're going to jail, I'm going to jail with you. And that's how serious my commitment is in the legislature and in life. And to be coupled alongside Jennifer Foster and all of her work here in our community with the One Orlando Alliance is truly, truly a humbling experience. Now, I'm going to tell you a random but funny story, and I hope you find it funny because I won't be able to tell, but hopefully you'll enjoy this. My first days in the Florida legislature, after we flipped our seat in 2018, many of my Tallahassee colleagues assumed that I didn't just support the LGBTQ plus community, that I was a member of the LGBTQ plus community. You see, the reasoning behind this assumption was if someone cares this deeply about equality, about inclusivity, about those who identify as LGBTQ plus, that she has to be a member of that community. No one just cares so unapologetically and so boldly unless they're directly impacted, unless they have something to gain or something to lose. Why care so much if you're not part of it? I want us to remember that none of us should have to be directly impacted by an issue to care about it. None of us should have to be directly impacted as an LGBTQ plus person to care about LGBTQ plus issues. And the same is said for immigration, police brutality, homelessness, reproductive rights, and any other issue. We care not because we have something to gain out of it or because we're necessarily impacted by it, but we care because there are people we care about that are impacted by it. We care because the greatest country on earth shouldn't be a scary place for a trans kid or a Black kid or a brown kid to live. We care because no one in this country or in this state should go to bed hungry, live without health care, or unsure of where they're going to sleep in the next night. I care because I love and value each one of you deeply. And I want to build a state where every person, no matter who they love, their gender identity, who they worship, where they live, their documentation or disability status, how much money they make, that they can still reach their fullest potential. And this November 3rd, we have a chance to make that vision for our state and for our country closer to becoming a reality. And we do it by voting and bringing everyone we know to get out the vote. We say this all the time, that this is the most important election of a lifetime. Well, I got news for y'all. This literally is the most important election of our lifetime. And we have to work together to get out the vote and ensure that we're getting out the vote for issues like LGBTQ plus equality, racial justice, reproductive rights, gun violence prevention, safe schools, clean water. We have to work for those who have come before us and for those who will come after us. We have to vote to reset this country and get us on a path of recovery and rejuvenation that leaves no one behind. We have to vote for science, for public health. So get out there and bring your family and friends too. Let's get it done and win this thing. You know, as we search for inspiration and models of patriotism, we need to look no further than Florida's LGBTQ plus community. And Equality Florida has been leading that charge. Inch by inch, you alongside accomplices have fought for every one of your collective rights, for county by county ordinances, city by city protections, and fighting in the legislature. You have fought for your collective rights. Meanwhile, you've been mocked, sidelined, marginalized, attacked, and lives have been lost. And despite all of this, you continue to rise and embrace the American dream as a birthright, not conditioned on whom you choose to love or your gender identity. I can think of nothing more American than the rejection of hatred in the pursuit of equality. We should all dare to be so brave. Thank you again for your inspiration, for your love, for this recognition, and for your support. Onward.
Oh, wow.
What a queen. I'm like, I already voted for her, but I feel like I need to cast another vote or something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Donald Trump, if you're listening, I promise you, I already voted once. I'm good with one vote.
Me too. I just want to say special thanks to Anna for her unwavering support and love for the LGBTQ plus community. We're just so proud of her and grateful. And she's just, yes, all of that. So getting into actually why we are here, I just want to remind people about that virtual silent auction that we've got going on. And we're going to post it right here for you to see. See, look, there are some incredible services on there. A gift from Ranger's Pet Outpost. That looks fun. Some remarkable little art items and a St. Pete getaway package. And, of course, that amazing prize from the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center. Don't forget to browse all the items and submit your bid. So just go to eqfl.org/Orlando Gala. And our friends at Equality Florida will drop that link into the chat as well.
I love it. I love it. You know, I talked about how good it feels to have champions in office. Representative Anna V Escomani is one of those champions.
Yeah.
And you know what happens often, I was sharing this earlier, is we hear, don't forget down ballot races. We know you're going to vote for president, but don't forget all the other things down ballot. But you know what we don't hear enough is how inspirational and motivational it is to have champions down the ballot. When you have someone like Anna Escomani, when you have someone like Carlos Guillermo Smith, when you have someone like all of these incredible folks who are running down ballot right now, who are representing us in Tallahassee, on city commissions, on county commissions, when they are showing up for us, we show up for them.
That's it.
It's not just about what's at the top of the ticket. When you have champions like Representative Anna V Escomani, I will show up. I'm tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. I am Halloween lit drop for Anna V Escomani. So if you want to join me, you know where to find us. I'm lit dropping tomorrow. And the truth is that when LGBTQ and allied voters show up, that's what's possible. That's what's possible. A real champion fighting for all of us every single day. And that's why all of the work that we're doing is so critical. So I promised you I would check in on our thermometer on how we're doing. I want to share with you, we've raised a ton of money. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not the most adept at this, but I got it. All right.
Let's see it. Drum roll, please. Ooh.
Incredible. We're at
50% of the way there.
$500 raised. We're going to match that 100%. That means $5,400 is going to immediately become nearly $11,000. Are you kidding me?
Yay.
Amazing. And as I mentioned before, every one of those dollars we're going to turn around and use to get on the phones, to send texts, to make calls, to get those voters to the polls. Because what did I just say? When we show up, we win. And that's really possible.
It's so true. And if you need to sing a song to get yourself to the polls,
I'm not going to help you write it, but I will help you sing it.
That's it. Just whatever you need to do, skip there, cartwheel, I don't care. Just get there. That's what's most important. And, you know, including music, you know, there's a group that's super important to the Orlando area, if you will, and that is someone that I call the OGC, but they're formally known as the Orlando Gay Chorus. And I think they're going to sing a little something special for us right now.
I am what I am. I am my own special creation.
Take a look, give me the hook or the ovation.
It's my world that I want to have a little pride in.
My world, it's not a place
See things from a different angle. Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. We are what we are, and we don't need an introduction. We gathered some moss, diamonds and dross, sense and seduction. We face life, though it's sometimes sweet and sometimes bitter. Face life with a little guts and lots of glitter. So on with the frocks, t-shirts and jocks, singing we are what we are. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one and there's no reason and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, "Hey world, I am what I am."
Oh my gosh, how fabulous are they?
That was wonderful, and I can't help but think about Miss Sammy when I see that song being done as she performed that at the Tony Awards with La Caja Full, and I just want to say big love to Orlando Gay Chorus for that amazing performance, and of course to Miss Sammy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so before we dive into our next speaker, I know my producers are like, God, you gotta go, you gotta hurry up, you're dragging. But I have to share this really amazing news. Are you ready, Blue?
I'm totally ready.
Okay, so last time we looked at the thermometer, remember we were at like $5,400, right?
$400, yes.
An incredible gift just came in from my dear friend Susan. We're at $10,500. $10,500. I could not go without sharing that. That is incredible.
That's awesome.
That is incredible. Thank you so much to everyone who has given. I'm going to cheers you with my empty glass.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, my wine rack is empty too. I'm getting some shade for that in the comments as well. I'm accepting wine donations for my November 3rd stash. But thank you. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Remember, every dollar is going to be matched tonight up to 100,000, and we're going to use it to call pro-equality voters to get them out to the polls. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So without further ado, I think this is, aside from the photo booth, this might be my other favorite part of the program. And I am really excited to get us there. I have a little bit of a surprise first, but you know, every movement absolutely needs a leader. And the truth is we have a fearless one here in the state of Florida, and specifically at Equality Florida. Nadine Smith has been in this fight for decades, lifting us to new heights and guiding us through the darkest of storms, one of which we are facing right now. I am so honored to know her. I am so proud to work under her tutelage. I am excited every time she bestows some wisdom upon me, and I am really, really excited to hear from her tonight. But before we do that, I am pretty sure we have a special surprise guest in the wings that wants to put things in perspective, help us understand what's at stake in Florida, and sort of welcome Nadine. Am I right? Do we have Olympic bronze medalist and LGBTQ activist Adam Rippon?
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is Adam Rippon, and I have a few things that I want to say. First, Florida is the country's largest swing state, and it was decided by 112,000 votes in 2016. If LGBTQ plus voters and our allies show up to vote, We will decide the election, not just in Florida, but for the nation. So what's at stake? LGBTQ plus civil rights, the battle against conversion therapy, our right to adopt children, the rights of trans Americans to live with dignity and respect, reproductive rights, our democracy as a whole. You know, I don't need to dwell right here, but it's important to note how disastrous the Trump administration has been for LGBTQ plus people. They are a mess. Equality Florida is working around the clock to mobilize an army of 500,000 pro-equality voters, many of whom did not vote in 2016. And they need our help to get over the finish line and deliver a win in Florida. So let's do this.
Hey there, everybody. It's great to see everybody tonight. And Adam's absolutely right. There's a great deal at stake. And if you're like me, you've probably been getting phone calls or you've been making phone calls to friends trying to process the amount of stress. You know, it's hard to hear day in and day out, this is the election of a lifetime without carrying some of that stress with you. So I want to tell you tonight why I'm optimistic about where we are and where we're heading. And the first reason that I'm optimistic is because we at Equality Florida and you as the folks who make the work that we do possible have turned angst into action. You've heard tonight that Equality Florida we've launched the largest and most ambitious voter mobilization program in our organization's history. We've invested $1.5 million in reaching 560,000 pro-equality voters across the state for whom LGBTQ issues are a litmus test, but who are at risk for not casting a ballot if we don't contact them. And our investment has already convinced 87,735 voters who did not vote in the last presidential election, not only to vote, but to vote early. Now, in a state where US senators are elected by less than 10,000 votes, we know that our community can decide the outcome of races up and down the ballot. We expanded our field team to 15 staff and we've mobilized nearly 400 volunteers. And that team has sent more than 1 million text messages, made over 250,000 telephone calls. And we've also sent 650,000 pieces of mail. And you've probably seen our digital ads that have shown up on the internet more than 11 million times. And it really matters when people get ads that speak directly to them as pro-equality voters. Now, most of the time you get an ad and you look at it quickly and then you discard it. But our folks take selfies with the ads that they get from that speak to the issues that they care about. And it's one of the important things that we are seeing, real grassroots investment, real grassroots mobilization. I'm also optimistic because at the root of everything we do is the necessity of changing hearts and minds. That is all of the education that we do, all of the outreach that we do is about changing hearts and minds, and we know that that's working. Last week, one of the biggest national polls and surveys discovered that 83% of Americans now favor protecting the LGBTQ community from discrimination in jobs, in public accommodations, and in housing, and only 16% of Americans oppose those laws. And the majorities of Democrats, Independents, and Republicans favor non-discrimination laws overall. And we are seeing record-breaking support for marriage equality, even at a time when the packing of the courts has us a little bit nervous about what that might mean for our future. We have shifted the culture dramatically. And I'm optimistic because we are providing support to a generation that is emerging. It's not enough just to say we want you not to get bullied and physically harassed and psychologically tortured in schools. We want schools where LGBTQ young people can thrive, and we're delivering on that promise. There was a recent study of students through the statewide, it's called the Youth Risk Behavior Survey, but 18.2% of Florida high school students identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, and 1.5% of students identify as transgender. And those students not only are we supporting them in schools, but what we discovered in the aftermath of COVID was that a lot of the support that those young people were getting was cut off because they didn't have their GSAs. They didn't have the support systems that we built in schools. And because you invested in our Safe and Healthy Schools program, we've been able to deliver programs remotely, virtually to young people and continue to give them a place where they are affirmed and they are supported. And now we're doing work in schools that historically have not always been open and welcoming. We're doing work in private schools. Any place that young people need us, we're going to be there to support them and produce a generation that not only is willing to fight for equality, but has lived a life where they expect it. And I'm also optimistic because our opposition is desperate. You know, we watched the court packing, we watched a legislature, the Senate, force through a Supreme Court nominee, even at a time when they weren't addressing and still aren't addressing COVID. And that's produced a lot of fear for people. But the reason it makes me optimistic is because it's a reminder that our opposition realize a truth that shakes them to the core. And that is that the American people are on our side. And they're trying to stack the deck because the momentum is with us. And I'm optimistic because our community has faced grave challenges before. And we changed America as we literally fought for our lives. When I graduated high school, Ronald Reagan was president. We had a president who laughed at us in the face of a pandemic that was decimating our community. And a Supreme Court that was stacked against us and voted to make our existence criminal. And we didn't curl up and we didn't go away. We organized. We looked out for each other. We fought back. We showed people that there were bonds that were as strong as family that weren't based on blood, but based on community and connection. And so I'm optimistic because I'm not afraid of what the future brings. I believe that the backlash we're experiencing is what precedes the breakthrough. And we saw it on marriage equality, where 38 states, one right after the other, embedded discrimination against us and blocked marriage. And a lot of people felt a great deal of despair, but it taught us how to talk about marriage, not as an antiseptic exchange of rights, but as love stories. And that is why I'm optimistic, because I see every day that army of people, not just LGBTQ people, but the people who love us, our allies and our accomplices, standing shoulder to shoulder with us. And there is a new America emerging from this time that we're in. It's emerging around LGBTQ issues. It's confronting the long-standing racial inequities. It is a future that will be diverse, that will be equitable, and that will demand justice for all. And the LGBT community will be at the forefront of that fight. And I thank every one of you who have chipped in along the way, and every one of you who continue to support this work, and every one of you who are showing up and standing up and fighting back. Together we will win, and love wins every time.
Nadine.
Nadine.
Thank you for all you have done for our community, for the state, for the country. We are truly honored to fight alongside you every day.
Yes, you're amazing. Don't forget that.
Amazing. Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you. Wow, Adam and Nadine absolutely brought that message home. I mean, we are the ones that determine what's next. We decide what the next chapter of this country looks like, and it is up to us. I'm going to say it one more time. It is up to us to be the changes that we want to see. That's why we got to vote.
That's right. That's why we have to show up. And Nadine put it so perfectly, that we've faced challenges before. And what has been the answer? You know, I honestly think about the shooting at Pulse and what that was meant to do to our community. Hatred, when it is weaponized, is intended to scare us.
Yeah.
It's meant to badger us into silence. It's meant to tear us at the seams. But Orlando responded, Central Florida responded by choosing to stand together.
Yes.
I always say that we came out as a unified community. in that moment. And that is what held us together. That's what's held this LGBTQ community together for as long as we can remember. And it's what's going to hold us together right now. If we lock arms, we lift each other up, and we win together. I believe that.
Yes, it's true. That term Orlando Strong and Orlando United still rings very true in this community as it did 4 years ago. We definitely will not forget that.
Absolutely. So it's almost closing time. I know it's weird that it's been almost an hour already. So if you haven't gotten a chance to, I just want to share with everyone, I thank you. I see Keith dropping links in the chat. I just want to remind you one more time about our silent auction. We're going to put it up on the screen for you. Don't forget, you got fabulous gifts. There's Rangers Pet Outpost. There's several pieces of art. You got a wine sampling experience. You got a fabulous gift from Dr. Phillips Center, tickets to the Max and Val tour live next summer. It's all fabulous. So if you want to browse, you want to buy, eqfl.org/Orlando Gala. Amazing.
I've had such a good time with you tonight, Brandon. You know, I will do anything for you. You understand that, right?
I love you so much. I have had a beautiful time with you too. And you know, as I think about 4 days out, and I think about the community and the warmth that I feel on this gala, and I feel in the comment section, and I feel with you, it reminds me of why I keep fighting.
It's true. It's very, 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 very true. I'm going to remember that next 4 days when I'm,
yeah, every time I get a little bit weary, every time I ask myself at the end of it all, you know, was it worth it? Is it worth continuing to fight? I'm brought back to this community and the strength and the resilience that we've shown. And so as I round out to 4 days left and I think about, do I have any gas in the tank? I just have to keep asking myself, when it's all said and done, when 2020 is closed, when we turn the chapter in American history, what do I want to say I will have done for my community? Well, I want to say that I did the same old, I posted things on Facebook, I did the usual things, or will I want to say that I left it all on the line? I don't want to have any regrets on November 4th. And that's
good. I think you can definitely go to bed at night saying that, and you're
so. And that's why I'm asking everyone, you know, one last big time. I want you to feel the same thing. I want you to know how powerful this community is. I want you to understand that it is us who gets to decide what happens next. It's us who will determine the future of the country, not just Florida, not just Central Florida, but the future of this country. So if you haven't given yet, I'm going to put the thermometer on the screen one more time. Let me see if I can figure out how to share. Are you on pins and needles?
I am. I'm excited. I'm like, I don't even know. But this looks like now 12,000.
Amazing. We're at nearly $13,000 raised. And to remind everyone, every single one of those dollars is going to go to help us reach pro-equality voters and get them out to the polls. And we're matching all of them up to $100,000, thanks to a very, very generous sponsor down in Sarasota. So if you haven't given yet, if you're asking yourself, do I have it in me? Do I have anything left in the tank? I'm begging you, leave no regrets on November 4th. Now is the time to push ourselves further than we've ever pushed.
It's true. It's true. Well, we just have a couple things left before we wrap things up, and we want to recognize the sponsor that made all of this possible. I just want to say a big, big, big thank you to our statewide presenting sponsor, Pnc Bank, for your unrelenting support for this work. And I think we have a few words here, right? We're going to share some love from Pnc Bank. Here we go. Thank you.
I am so appreciative and proud of our partnership with Equality Florida. The impact that we can collectively make is so much more significant than what each of us can do as individuals or what we can do as individual organizations. In this season, in our nation, it is more important than ever that we stand together, that we lean on each other to create resources and precedent for those that are marginalized, that are underserved, and those that are in need in our community. This becomes crystal clear when we focus on where our similarities are. We are more alike than we are different. using our similarities to determine where is disparate environments, disparate resources, and disparate treatment, and letting that be our compass for action. This approach creates the foundation to then truly be able to celebrate our differences. Thank you, Equality Florida, for your friendship, for your partnership, and for giving PNC the opportunity to make a collective impact for our communities.
It's impossible to do anything without our sponsors, and PNC Bank always shows up. I just have to say that. I just have to say that PNC always shows up. Thank you.
They do. They do. And really, really profound words from Melissa there. We do it together, right? And that means all of us. That means our business community. It means, all of us in the community. Everything that we do it better when we do it together.
It's true. It's true. You know what time it is, Brandon?
No, it's not. Come on.
I mean, we could keep going, but I'm afraid that David might be real mad at us.
David is about to pull the plug. He said, listen, you got to wrap it up.
I know. I've got my kids down there ready for rehearsal because, we have a sneak peek here at the house. So they're all being loud, knocking on the, like, be quiet. I'm like, let us know. We need to rehearse some more.
Well, I have had such a beautiful time with you. Thank you for everything you do. You are such an integral part of our community. I'm just blessed and honored to know you.
And same. And I have been watching your journey grow and grow and grow, and I will continue to do so. You, my dear, are truly an amazing human. I can't wait to watch what the rest of your journey looks like. Thank you.
Thank you. And to everyone watching, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to share a couple of plugs as we close here. If you haven't had a chance to check out the silent auction, go to eqfl.org/Orlando Gala. If you haven't had a chance to donate, to pitch in to the fight, text equality to 74121. We're matching dollar for dollar up to 100,000. Thank you to our fabulous sponsor doing that down in Sarasota. And of course, share this video. It's going to live on Facebook and YouTube. We want everyone to see it. We want to rev up this fight. Listen, we've got 4 days left until the most consequential election of our lifetime. And I can't stress enough that it is us. It's we, the people, who will decide what happens next. And that means we have to ensure that we leave no one behind. That means that we ensure every voice is heard, every vote is counted, and we can do that with your help. I'm so, so, so grateful for all of you. Wish we could be in person, drinking and dancing and hugging together, but it is so wonderful to spend an hour with you virtually. And so with that, I don't want to leave you with me on a soapbox. Instead, I'd rather leave you with a reminder of the beauty and the love of our community and what's possible when we share a little love with each other. To close us out and then thank our sponsors and our committees and everyone who made this possible, I want to turn it over to Todd Kimbrough with Somebody to Love.
Can anybody find me somebody to love? Each morning I get up by dialing, can't barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry, say, Lord, what you doing to me? I have spent all these years in believing you, but I still can't get no relief. Lord, somebody, oh somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end of the day, I take home my heart and pay all on my own. I get down on my knees, I start to pray as the tears roll out of my eyes. Lord, somebody, oh somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? every day, and I try and I try and I try, but everybody wants to put me down, say I'm going crazy, say I got water in my brain, ain't got no common sense, I got nobody left to believe. Got my feet, got no rhythm, I just keep losing my beat, but I'm okay, I'm alright. Ain't gonna face no defeat. I just gotta get out of this prison cell. Someday I'm gonna be free. Oh. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love and find me somebody to love. I said somebody, oh somebody, oh somebody, find me somebody to love. Can't anybody find me somebody to love?